There are few things in life that can make me more riled up or more angry than when something seems unfair, when I feel that I've been dealt with unfairly. Even when someone cuts in line in front of me, I get a little peeved about it. When someone gets special treatment, we don't like it when things are unfair or when it ever seems like things are uneven. Especially as human beings, as Americans, we want to make sure that everything is fair. And that's a good thing for us. We want to be sure that no one is getting more than their due or less than their due. Yet, when we talk about fair and unfair, it's difficult for us to understand that in the concept with God. Because as the scriptures say, God's ways are higher than our ways. We can't understand God fully. And especially when it comes to God's mercy, there is not a lot of fairness involved with that. We hear today this parable of the landowner and how he goes out and he seeks workers for his vineyard. And he goes out multiple times a day, and he's coming to pay, at the end of the day, comes to pay them. This is where things seem to get unfair, because the ones who started at the beginning of the day get the same wage, this whole daily wage, that the ones got at the end of the day. That seems unfair, doesn't it? How is it that these ones who worked only an hour get the same as those who worked like 8 hours? That is unfair. Yet, the vineyard owner, the landowner, brings those ones who have worked first to pay them, worked last, the ones who had only worked a little bit, he pays them first. So why does he do that? He could have saved himself a lot of grief and a lot of complaining from the first workers, from the early workers, had he just paid them first. He's teaching them a lesson. He's showing them something. That the working in the vineyard is not just about work. It's not just about payment in a monetary sense. This is something that is a gift. It's a gift to all of them. And it's about not so much just working there, but learning from the master. From growing in relationship with the master, who is God himself. This is a parable about the kingdom of God. So those who are invited into the kingdom get to experience eternity with the one who is the lover of our souls. And who are we to say that some are less deserving of that, or that that wouldn't be something good for them? It's not up for us to judge in the end. That's God's job. It is for us to do all that we can to unite ourselves to God in this world and to grow in holiness, and hopefully one day to reach that point with him. This is something that I feel like every time I'm in the confessional, there's a different sense of justice that comes about, because it's God's justice, which is also God's mercy, that he wants to offer his hand in mercy to those who are sorrowful for their sins. Even though they've sinned 1,000,000 times, they do it in the same way. God is waiting to pardon us. Yet we come back to him and ask for that every time. So let's ask the Lord today for a deeper understanding of his ways, that we might not try to understand necessarily fair and unfair in the kingdom of heaven, but know that his mercy is what triumphs over all, and that one day, hopefully, he will invite all of us to share with him in that heavenly kingdom.